accept, enhance. Let me start again. All the following are features of thyrotoxicosis. Except enhanced appetite, diarrhea, constipation, or sweating. Maybe somebody can take us through thyrotoxicosis. This was done in the morning, I'm not sure. Was this covered in the morning? As in, I'm asking if this paper was done in the morning. Oh, okay, okay. So is everybody in agreement that C is the answer? Okay. I'll just take us through hyperthyroidism or thyrotoxicosis. It's, as we know by the word, hyperthyroidism is the excessive amount of GH produced by the thyroid gland, yeah. And thyrotoxicosis is just a clinical syndrome that is associated with prolonged exposure to elevated levels of thyroid hormone. Uh, what else? The causes of, can somebody take us through the causes of hyperthyroidism? Or what do we know about hyperthyroidism? Okay, at least somebody can type in the levels for TSH, T4, T3.
For the causes,
Yeah.
we have toxic adenoma, toxic multinodular goiter, or Plummer's disease. That is for primary hyperthyroidism. Then we have functioning thyroid carcinoma, metastasis. We have activating mutation of the TSH receptor. We have activating mutation of GS alpha, that is the McCune-Albright syndrome. And then we have drugs, iodine excess, that is Jod-Basedow phenomenon. We also have Graves' disease. And then secondary hyperthyroidism, there's TSH secreting pituitary adenoma, thyroid hormone resistance syndrome, chorionic gonadotropin secreting tumors, and gestational thyrotoxicosis.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Mary. Also, you can have the thyroid tumors and overtreatment with thyroid drugs. The question was just asking about the lab, what are the causes. Now we can also look at the clinical presentation and diagnosis. So in signs and symptoms, we have nervousness, fatigue, weakness, increased perspiration, heat intolerance, tremor, hyperactivity, palpitations, appetite change, weight change, and menstrual disturbances and diarrhea. Also, we can have hyperactivity, tachycardia, muscle weakness, and op uh, ophthalmopathy. So the answer here would be constipation. Constipation. We can do the diagnosis for that also. Okay, would the free T4 levels be normal, elevated, or reduced?
The 4 levels will be high.
T4 levels would be high, not normal.
No, it will be high and the TSH will be low.
Oh, okay, yeah. What else can we add on to it? What other diagnosis can you do? The increased radio iodine. Then treatment. What would be the treatment for hyperthyroidism? I'm not sure about the levels for T3, but I think they would be normal or maybe high.
Treatment. T3 may be elevated. It may or may not.
Yeah. What do you think about the treatment? Like, is surgery the priority, like a first line, you start with drugs? Can you give, do you mean propyl thiouracil as part of treatment? That's what you mean? Yes, I think you can. Uh, Thi thyroidectomy. Maybe it would be the last. That is what I feel. And yes, radioactive iodine therapy. Mhm.
Beta blockers
Beta blockers.
is prescribed to relieve the symptoms of hyperthyroidism, including we have the rapid heartbeat, tremors, and anxiety.
Yes, yes, yes.
But they do
And
not treat the underlying thyroid problem, so they just provide asymptomatic relief.
yeah. Mm. Also, what else? What else can you give? Or you can also give Lugol solution that will inhibit the iodination of tyrosine and thyroid hormone release. Yeah. Uh, you can use anion inhibitors such as thiocyanate and percolate. T3 might be elevated if hyperthyroidism is from increased production. If it is decreased metabolism, then T3 will be low since T4 is not converted to T3. Yeah, yeah. And what about treatment in pregnant women? Yes, you can give propranolol, that's the beta blockers, to, yeah, yes, yes, we can. Treatment in pregnant. Okay, the safest to give is propyl thiouracil. Yes, yes, please speak.
Oh, sorry, PTU because does not cross the placenta.
Hmm. Yeah. And also, if the neonate is born to mothers who have Graves' disease, will be hypothyroid at delivery. So you can give them PTU or methimazole. Yeah. I think that's it. We can move on to the next question. Obstructive liver disease is characterized by elevated alkaline phosphatase, elevated amylase levels, decreased aspartate transaminase, or elevated tyrosine kinase. Liver. ALPs will be high. I'm not sure. But I think ALPs. I would go for ALPs. A, yeah. Anyone with a different answer? Okay, I will not waste it an hour. The following is a classification of a vegetable drug based on plant tissue characteristics, taxonomic, alphabetical, morphological, or pharmacological. I think it's morphological. What do you guys think? Because it's saying based on a plant tissue, that's more of morphological. Okay, somebody else also says, or somebody says taxonomic. Is it for question 64 or 63? We're on question number 64. I agree with the morphological. Okay, thank you. The following are family names of medicinal plants except Agracacia, Leguminosae, Malacia, and Ephedra. Ephedra, right? Okay, is that answer for number 64 or is that answer for number 65? Thank you. Anybody else with a different answer that they feel that this is Ephedra is not? All of them end with AE, that means that they are family names. The following medicinal plants contain constituents that act on the nervous system except ginkgo biloba, Texas brafolia, peyote cactus, or lobe in plata. Also, ginkgo biloba, it's used to treat blood disorders and memory issues. So that means it acts on the nervous system. Texas brevifolia is the one that gives us the for breast cancer. What is it called? What's that drug called? Um, Tex, paclitaxel, and the drug for breast cancer, tamoxifen. Is it tamoxifen? I'm not sure. So do you taxol nervous system? Maybe we could go for B. Texas brevifolia is used to treat breast and ovarian cancers. Breast and ovarian cancers. What is the use of peyote cactus?
Contains psychoactive alkaloids, so I believe it acts on the nervous system. Peyote
Yeah,
cactus.
yeah, it causes hallucination. Causes hallucination, and it's used for conditions such as fever, wounds, and joint pain. Oh, sorry, I lost the chat for that lob inflata. What is it used for? It's an Indian tobacco, so it has a use in respiratory conditions such as asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, and cough. Anybody else wants? Sorry?
That lobe inflata can also be used as an antidepressant and an emetic,
Hmm.
also as an aid to smoking cessation.
Thank you, thank you. So we should go for P, right?
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to add something on this? Like if they are, what was it? Crude drugs are divided into organizational or non-organizational drugs, we could remind ourselves. Okay, we know that crude
Okay,
drugs
so
can
I'll
be.
give it a try.
Yes, yes, thank you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so for organized drugs, these were basically herbal drugs which were derived from specific plant organs. For example, you're deriving something from the roots, or you're deriving something, the leaves to be the drug, for example, the senna leaves or the stem. These are basically organs which we're using as drugs. But for the unorganized drugs, this is where you are using parts of the plant that are not really organs by themselves. For example, gum, the resins, yeah, things along, medical products along those, herbal medical products along those lines.
True. So I don't know if any of us know here, you can go below by like, is it an organized or an unorganized drug?
Mm.
Or should we move on? Which one of the following drugs acts on the cardiac system? Aspirin, menthol, kaolin, or tannin? Aspirin, right? It's used as an antihypertensive.
Yes.
Yeah. Can we recall if it was in as a pharmacognostic question? The plant Ravolia flavori, something like that.
Ravosia serpentina.
Yes, and that was it's from the which part of the plant?
I think the roots, because they are more like a snake in type, that's why the serpentina. But I think, yes, I think the roots.
Yes. Yes, it's from the roots. That is good. The following are all, or does anyone? Okay, we've seen some Noor has written. Mental, kaolin, and tannin. Yes, they are not. Menthol is used in cooling and soothing, while kaolin and tannins are most commonly associated with GI and dermatological issues. Thank you. The following are all crude drugs which are not of plant origin except kaolin, beeswax, eugenol, and spermaceti. Spermaceti. Even I was thinking of the same.
I would think eugenol, because spermaceti is a form of wax gotten from animals, but eugenol is a phytochemical gotten from things like cloves. So I'll go with eugenol.
Okay. You go for eugenol. Somebody is saying they'll go for kaolin. Okay, let's open the discussion. Let's talk more about it. Why do you think it's
Oh, sorry, I'd not seen the note. If it's not, then I would go with the following are all crude drugs which are not of plant origin. All are of plant origin except which is not a plant origin. Then kaolin, yes, it's the answer. I would go with kaolin.
not a good drug? It's naturally occurring from clay mineral that is often used in industries. Okay. All the following. Okay, anybody else with a different answer? All the following conditions that affect the nature and quantity of secondary metabolites in plants except temperature, education of the herbalist, rainfall, and exposure to the light. I don't think education of the herbalist matters. Anybody with an objection or has a different?
I think number 68, it wants of plant origin.
No, it's asking which are not of plant origin.
Except.
Yes.
Why not spermaceti?
So kaolin, they're saying kaolin is not a plant origin. It's a naturally occurring clay mineral. So the answer is A.
But looking at it, I think we need the except, because looking even the beeswax is not of plant origin and spermaceti is also not of the plant origin. So we want that which is of plant origin.
Plant origin, which is eugenol.
True.
Yes.
True. Maybe the question is phrased wrongly, right?
It is a tricky question because they have said which are not of plant origin except. meaning they want us to give the one that is from plant origin. The other three
yes,
are not
yes, makes sense.
origin, except eugenol. Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. We should go with D. Yeah, so see, the BUX is an animal origin, and spermaceti is also an animal origin, and eugenol is the only one that is a plant. So the answer is eugenol. Noor, yeah. Should we move on to question 69? Anyone with a different answer? All the following are conditions that affect the nature and quantity of secondary metabolites in plants, except temperature, education of the herbalist, rainfall, and exposure to light. I think no one. I'll go to the next question. Which of the following crude drug is affected most by poor storage conditions after harvesting? Cascara bark, acacia gum, digitalis, or Corynerium sativum? I would go for Corynerium sativum. I'm not sure though. I mean, if this coriander is not properly stored, then they'll become dark. I mean, they'll spoil. What do you guys think? Anyone with a different answer? Cascara bark gives us cinnamon, right? Okay. Please explain why D, yeah? Coriander sativum is just coriander. So if you leave those coriander, this green coriander outside, they will spoil in the sense that the leaves will become yellow, and with time, they'll just spoil. So I feel it's mostly affected by poor storage conditions.
From Google, they're saying it's cascara bark.
Cascara bark gives us...
is likely to be affected most by poor storage conditions because cascara bark contains compounds with laxative properties such as anthraquinone glycosides. These compounds are susceptible to degradation when exposed to factors like heat, humidity, and light. Poor storage conditions, such as high temperatures and moisture, can lead to the breakdown of these active constituents and a loss of efficacy in the drug. On the other hand, acacia gum, which is gum arabic digitalis, derived from the foxglove plant, and Coriandrum sativum, which gives coriander, may also deteriorate under unfavorable conditions, but their stability is generally less sensitive to environmental factors compared to the active compounds in the cascara bark.
Okay. You said it's also affected by heat.
Yes, because of the active ingredients, the anthraquinone glycosides. So it's what is it called? Its effectiveness will be affected.
I think, I'm not sure. I've seen some Asians put this cascara bark in the sun. I'm not sure, but I've seen. I'll just go for that. The following are all examples of plant growth regulators. I'm also thinking it's not about the plant itself, but the component stability. Yeah, it could. Yeah, I understand. Let's go with for A. Now, which of the following are not plant growth regulators? Yeah, auxins, we know it is, glucose, cytokinins, and ethylene. So obviously glucose. Can somebody remind us how each of them work?
So auxin is responsible for upward growth, and then cytokinins, it's lateral growth. Then ethylene promotes ripening.
I would also like to add the gibberellins that promotes stem elongation and seed germination and fruit development. Then the that ABA it's also a hormone that regulates the seed dormancy and the stomatal closure. Anybody else wants to add on? Anyone with anything else? What about Jasmonex? Is that a growth factor? I'm not sure. Okay, I'm seeing here that desmonate is a hormone that is associated with response to plant stress, particularly the defense against herbivores and pathogens. Okay, should we move on? Which one of the following is not a drug of marine origin? Eudistomide, didemenine B, streptomycin, and patellazole B. Marine origin.
Isn't it streptomycin?
Streptomycin. Anyone with a different answer? I agree C for 1272.
It should be streptomycin also.
Yeah. So should we move on? Any other drugs you remember from marine? Which of the following method is commonly used for extraction of essential oils? Steam distillation, sublimation, fractional liberation, high HPLC. Steam, I think steam. Is Hiral in class? No. Okay. Anyone with a different answer? Okay, can we recall our something about essential oils? Anything?
Maybe what I can see, they are called essential oils because of their capability to be volatile. They are volatile oils, and they are usually a complex mixture of hydrocarbons and the oxygenated derivatives, such as the esters, the ketones, and the aldehydes. And generally, they are immiscible with water, as you know, with other waters, with other oils. And most of them have a specific gravity of less than 1. And many are colorless, apart from a few, such as chamomile, which is blue. I can't remember the others. Yes. And they're usually gotten from some cavities either by lysing off of the cell or just at the side of the cell. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody else wants to do any addition? I will just continue. The following ivaxes of animal origin except spermaceti, carnauba, beeswax, and wool fat. Most are toxic if ingested, hence are mainly used topically if used as drugs. Yes. Okay, says 74, the answer is B. Oh, I just wanted to, sorry, going back to 73. Also, distillation would be used to extract, steam, sorry. I just, oh yeah, I was going to say that they also extracted using cold pressing for essential oils such as lemon or sweet orange.
Which one is that, Nina?
That's for 73. Extraction of essential oils can either be by steam distillation or cold pressing.
They can also be extracted. I'm just adding up to what you've said, Daktari, but they can also be extracted using effluent method. And remember, in effluent method is where we are taking just like a part of the fixed oil. Then we put our flowers or the part which we want to extract. Then after some time, we will just remove them. So we can have it being either passing on some hot steam or just leaving them there for some days. That is effluent. Thank you.
And fluid.
Enfluent. E-N-F-L.
Oh, enfluorage.
Yes.
Enfluorage. Yes. Just to add on, they can be used as cleaning, cosmetics, perfumes, or adhesives. Okay. For question Question 74. Back to that. Why is that not an animal origin?
Which one is not animal origin?
Somebody said B is the answer.
Yes, canola
It's
is
from
not a bad thing.
yeah. That is from palm.
Pardon?
It's because it is a natural wax. It comes from the leaves, palm tree.
Okay.
We said spermaceti is from the whales, right?
Yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Palm tree. Okay, next. Which one of the following is not a test for alcohol? Mayors, Wagners, Haggers, or Kettles? Kettles?
Kettles, yeah.
Kettles.
The following are, or should
The
we
one that
recall
yellow,
something
the yellow
about
precipitate.
alkaloids?
The one that has the yellow precipitate is Hager's, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The rest is white precipitate.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's not white precipitate. Others form white precipitate, and then Hager's is yellow precipitate with alkaloids. Oh, it's Mayer's. Someone said it's Mayer's. Okay.
Just confirm. Somebody could talk about the alkaloids.
I think it's Haggers. The rest form the white precipitate.
Yeah, I was also thinking that.
So Hager's is the only one that gives white.
Yes, Srina.
And what about the other two? Yellow, creamish.
The other two, the Mayers and Wagners, they form white precipitate.
Okay.
And then,
What else can we talk about the alkaloids for the last 10 minutes before we start a new topic? Just a summary. Or in which part of the plants can you find alkaloids? Okay, we can start with that. It's just the one that has nitrogen in the heterocyclic system. What else?
Some characteristics of alkaloids. We have bitter taste, nitrogen containing compounds, highly toxic, and then so they can be isolated from we have the plant materials through the various extraction and purification methods. And then their identification is via techniques like mass spectrometry and NMR spectroscopy.
And then the three main types of alkaloids: true alkaloids, protoalkaloids, and pseudoalkaloids. The true alkaloids, they're derivative of amino acids, and they share heterocyclic ring with nitrogen, and they're highly reactive with biological activity. The true examples are cocaine, quinine, dopamine, and morphine. And protoalkaloids are compounds in which the N atom derived from an amino acid is not part of the heterocyclic ring. So examples of those are okay.
I think we can also add the example we add on to what has already been said. Ephedrine, atropine, nicotine.
And then the pseudoalkaloids are compounds, the basic carbon skeleton of which are derived from amino acids in reality, and the connected amino acids both are derived from precursors. The pseudoalkaloids are derived from precursors of amino acids. Examples are ephedrine, caffeine, theobromine, capsicane. And then that's classification according to types. There's also classification according to the chemical structure. That's the heterocyclic ring. There is a typical alkaloid. There's a very nice tables here in this textbook that I'm looking from. I'll share it right in the group. According to chemical structure, it's atypical alkaloids and typical alkaloids. Atypical, then also known as non-heterocyclic alkaloids, they contain nitrogen in a lymphatic chain. The typical ones, they're heterocyclic alkaloids and they contain nitrogen in heterocyclic ring. Examples of those, it's written very well in this tables I'm going to share right now. Okay.
Excuse me, can someone kindly repeat the different types of precipitations that are formed after alkaloid tests are done? I mean the color. Thanks.
So for the Mayer's reagent, you have white cream. Wagner's is also white, and Hager's is the only one with yellow. Or just to add on, they can be extracted using chloroform, ethanol, or ether, and they form salts with acid. Are they soluble in water or insoluble? Are alkaloids soluble in water or not? Okay. I think that we can do ourselves. We'll continue from here at 8 o'clock. Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe
See you
what
guys
I,
at 8.
sorry, let me say something about what you've asked about solubility, because I remember when we did the last discussion with people, we saying that they can, when they're in free base form, they are insoluble in water. But when they form a salt, they are soluble in water, or some are sparingly soluble in water, but there are some exemptions. So the free bases are insoluble in water, but soluble in organic acid. But you find some exemption of something like which will be a free base, but it is soluble in water instead of it being insoluble in water, such as caffeine. Or you find a salt which you expected to be soluble in water, but it is insoluble in water. And a good example was I can't remember, but there was one which there were some which could be in salt form, but they're not soluble in water. But also find salts which are soluble in organic solvent, something like quinine monosulfate. We expect it to be soluble in water, but it is insoluble in water. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's true. Also, stretching hydrochloride, it's much soluble in water than in organic solvents. But in general, alkaloids are free bases. They're soluble in organic solvents and insoluble in water.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you at 8.
Thank you too.